Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Deckinaround Reviewed. Today, we're going to be taking a look at Airplane Mode by George Iglesias. But before we jump into it, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel.
And ring that bell.
Designed to amaze, Airplane Mode by George Iglesias is a new and great multi-phase mentalism routine involving real-life props and a travel experience. A modern act that combines many mentalism plots that will fit perfect in your shows from big to small scenarios.
So this multi-phase mentalism routine is by George Iglesias and Twister Magic, and I have to say that although the tutorial was 35 minutes, which, as you know, for me is a long time, I can probably pay attention for about 12 seconds and then I'm gone. But he was super engaging, and I was literally hooked for 35 minutes watching the entire thing. He's very animated, super fun to watch, and I love his accent.
Yeah, super high energy.
Yeah. So this routine retails for $70, and it is has 5 props included in the routine, and you could use all of them. You can switch it up, use them even with other routines. It doesn't have to generally be used just for this. But again, like it says, it is a multi-level routine that is fun. It is intermediate, or it says intermediate, but I definitely think that a beginner could do it.
Yeah.
The only thing that kind of bumps it up a little bit, makes it a little more difficult for a beginner, is just the interaction that you have to do on several instances that might make it a little more uncomfortable for a beginner. But
Yeah.
other than that, I think intermediate up to professional will pick this up pretty quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say all of the entire routine itself is pretty easy to understand. Watching one sit through of the 35-minute tutorial really gives you a complete understanding of how you can go through it. I don't even know if you necessarily have to go through it twice. It really is that intuitive. But I think, like you said, a lot of the pattern, the interaction, and really builds this from just a bunch of mentalism gimmicks into an actual routine is that ability to interact and really put on a show that not all beginners are necessarily comfortable with.
Yeah, I mean, I think the one thing that we do have to keep in mind, about this routine, it's more geared towards a show. I think
Yeah.
where you have a stage or a space where you can call people up and interact with people, place things on a table or something like that. It's not really for walk around, or maybe
Yeah.
if you break it up and you use one of the props or two of the props, you can get away with that. But I think for the most part, it's a stage setting is where you're gonna excel with this whole routine.
Yeah, definitely meant for like that intimate interaction, I think. Like you could do it on a large scale stage as well, but I think the reaction and the intimacy really helps drive the story behind the whole routine. It really adds an element that I think you wouldn't necessarily get if you were in a larger setting for it.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think the production value, on the video wasn't through the roof, but it was well lit.
Yeah.
I think George Iglesias did a great job at having a great background, and audio was great.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that I noticed as a downfall, maybe because I'm, a photographer, a videographer, is in the background in one of the pictures, you can see kind of people walking back and forth in the reflection. But other than that, it only happened a couple times. But other than that, I think it was done really well.
Yeah, and from my point of view, I honestly did not notice the people in it. I think that may lend to the fact that Steve was so engrossed in it, he was noticing every small detail.
Yeah,
I do think, though, that the production value, there's such a wide range in Magic tutorials of production value. Sometimes it feels like someone's filming it on their cell phone in, their closet with a nightlight on, and other times it feels like someone has the full, production studio around them. I'd say this falls in kind of a average to above average kind of range with, again, there was thought put into the stage around him. There was a steady camera. It was a high quality video that was shot. The audio was really on point. So some of those little things probably detracted from it being a more professional quality video, but by no means was it hard to watch or put together in a way that made it not as enticing or as engrossing as it could be.
yeah. I mean, I think it was honestly one of the best tutorials that we've seen on the show so far
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah, and I do think that, the energy that George brings to the tutorial really was a big part of that. There's a few people who we absolutely love watching tutorials and downloads from, and it's because they're super high energy. George really fits into that kind of category of, you're going to sit there for 35 minutes, you really want to be excited about it, and it was fun to watch, it was fun to learn. I think there was such a nice interactive aspect to this that this tutorial would just be an enjoyable process for anyone who decides to pick up this multi-phase routine.
Yeah, and I think value wise, I think it's awesome. A lot of things come across us, and things are priced differently. But I think what you're getting in this package is definitely worth the price tag on it.
Absolutely, yeah, and I think it's something where, there is such variation on the price as well. Sometimes you get nothing but a download. Sometimes you get, a single prop. The fact that there are 5 included props with this, and it's really built to allow you to go out and perform everything you need, it works out perfectly. I think the even the quality of the gimmicks themselves, while mostly being, paper based, they're not cheap. They're not printer paper. They have quality to them. They probably will last as long as they can, as long as you treat them well. If you're not creasing and folding them and tearing and throwing them in a pile of other stuff, they're going to hold up a lot longer. But again, being paper props, they really are built to last from what we could see.
Yeah, I mean, if you fly at all, it's definitely high quality stuff that you would see on a plane for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, and I
Yeah,
think, for anyone who is an aviation enthusiast or really just likes to include a really detailed but at the same time relatable story into their routines, this is a great whole kind of mentalism routine because there's a lot of fun to it. And like Steve mentioned earlier, you can customize it around your own style to either include more or less of the props that come with it and really kind of cater it to what you want. You could take it from, a full length routine to something where you just use a part of it to do a quick gimmick as a time pass between other routines.
yeah, totally agree.
Yeah,
Good stuff. I enjoyed it.
absolutely. Same here. Well, thank you everyone for checking out this episode of Deckinaround Reviewed. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You can pick up Airplane Mode at your favorite Murphy's Magic retailer. This gimmick retails for $70, so make sure to check it out.